Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. I'm on a bench for a change rather than sitting at the base of my favourite tree. The heath is relatively quiet for a pleasant, relatively sunny weekday early evening. More Gevrey Chambertin today. This is a new producer I haven't tried before. This is part of another order from Lay and Wheeler. It's Domain Maume, completely new to me. I'm forever discovering these new producers. It's part of the joy of this. So your guess is as good as mine as to what the house style of this is going to be, unless you already know this producer. And it's a 2019 vintage, one of my favourites. Dogs barking over there. There are some biting insects about now. Unfortunately, I have taken the precaution of spraying myself with smidge. How effective that is going to be. Came out a bit worryingly easily. Very pale colour on the base of that cork there. That is a very pale colour, isn't it? I'm guessing this is going to be quite light on the extraction. The initial nose before any swirling is very faint cherry, but a hint of something floral in there as well. I think we're looking at one of those delicate, light, subtle wines. Maybe more like red berry fruit coming out now with a bit of swirling. Red plums I'm put in mind of. Yeah, maybe not cherry exactly. Something lighter than that, lighter and fleshier. Might be a bit of strawberry, raspberry sort of berry fruit. It's a little bit different from that. It doesn't quite have that kind of sharpness on the nose that strawberries and raspberries have. A little bit like a sort of soft red plum. None of this so far is anything like I was expecting. I don't know what exactly I was expecting in terms of house style, but this feels to me more like a different appellation altogether. Nothing so far is telling me Gevrey Chambertin. Of course, some producers choose to do a lighter style of extraction. Domaine Furier were famous for advocating that, so perhaps there's something in that sort of ballpark, but so far, not getting a lot on the nose, if I'm honest. Unsurprisingly, quite light on the palate as well, more soft berry fruit there. Perhaps that is more strawberry, raspberry sort of territory. It obviously doesn't have dairy notes, that would be a fault, but it does remind me slightly of something like strawberry milkshake almost, in a weird way. That kind of strawberry flavour, really quite light. Getting a sort of a tannic sensation, which is slightly at odds with that otherwise very light body there. Overall, I'm not really excited by that from the first few sips. This is a very, very different style from any recent Gevrey Chambertin I've had. It's just so much lighter on the extraction, which is a real surprise. There's no reason, as I say, Gevrey Chambertin can't be, and Furier is an example that bucks that trend, but in its current state that's not really doing a lot for me. Quick Google around to try and find some tasting notes for this, and there are very few. I found some older vintages which sounded like quite a different wine. I'm starting to have those niggling doubts that this could be somehow faulty, but I've never heard of a wine fault that causes wine to go sort of much paler and apparently less extracted. I mean, this must be by design, just a very light style. But that seems at odds with the earlier vintages. This could just be that age-old issue about expectations. I've had a run of, I suppose, some relatively heavy Gevrey Chambertins, and I've had a couple recently from those hot years when they've been all sort of black fruit and bordering on jammy, and I suppose I ought to be relishing this, and it's so different from that. It's absolutely not jammy by any measure. I don't know, for me that sort of lacks the concentration and the intensity and all those things I usually talk about with Gevrey. And what we've got instead is something dry, soft, light. Red berry fruit, not really stone fruit. I suppose there's a bit of mineral character there maybe on the palate. I thought I detected some sort of tannic edge earlier, but I think that's gone again now. Perhaps this is designed for significant aging. It is only village level. It's had 6 years if it's not starting to get interesting by now. But maybe this is one that if you left for another few years, you'd start to see interesting floral notes and so on. That's one of the things you get in Furier, and that's light on the extraction. Maybe it's just at a difficult age where it doesn't have kind of big bold fruit to carry it. and it hasn't yet got to that point of aging where it's starting to develop those floral notes. But yeah, that's really not doing it for me, I'm afraid. It's drinkable, there's nothing horrible about it, it's just kind of boring. It's light and boring and not what I thought I was signing up for with Gevrey Chambertin. Oh well, I'll come back to you if a subsequent glass does improve one way or the other, but it's looking like a bit of a damp squib. Alas, it happens, that's all part of the fun, isn't it? You never know what you're going to get when you open a bottle. On this occasion, I think what I've received is a disappointing experience. Anyway, cheers.